Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday, February 15th, 2012, and this is Day 9 Daily number 420, and I would like to proudly state that I have actually never smoked anything in any form, cigarette, pot, no, nothing, not at all, and I know that there's a lot of people out there who are like, Daily 420, woo, going nuts, but for me, I'd rather just get high on life. And delicious LA tap water, which is also, I think, opaque. It's like the only water I've ever seen come out of a faucet gray. But that's fine because it still helps keep me nice and hydrated. Now, one thing that I want to begin the daily with is just to note that right after this is going to be the After Hours Gaming League, week number 5. If we go over to the standings for the entire divisions, we see the top 3 spots is where you want to be to qualify for the next round. And the one that we're going to look at is down in Division 4, Facebook versus Google, is going to be the match that we be casting afterwards. Yeah. And whoever wins that ends up being first in the group. But for now, it is going to be Day 9 TV time with me. Yeah, so that's afterwards. I'll be casting that with Rob whenever he arrives, and hopefully he doesn't die in LA traffic getting here. In other exciting news, my brain died recently. I ran out of brain. I'm really developing this consistently bad habit. Well, I've kind of always had this bad habit of just doing like way more stuff than an organism can take. I really should take more of an opportunity to like sleep and take breaks. I kind of have the huge circles under the eyes going today. Yeah, Raccoon Day 9. And in this time of total, complete lack of focus and need, I just could not figure out what the heck I wanted to do for the daily topic. Having such a hard time, and I just messaged Naniwa and was like, help me, dude, I'm so totally lost. Is there any chance you can help me out? And he was like, of course, and sent me 2 unbelievable games. They're so good. We're going to look at both of them. And that's going to be the topic of today. So I just wanted to give an extra special thanks to Quantic Naniwa for helping me when I actually cannot get my brain to churn out an idea. Yeah, Naniwa. And his play is actually so good that it makes my life easy. I'm just like, look at that. Look what a fucking badass. Yeah, nice. Awesome. So let's go ahead and hop into the topic of today's daily, which is how clever this PvT opening is by Naniwa. Part of the daily is going to be devoted to just what is he doing. That way we can just state it, and you can steal the opening and start winning more games. But another huge element to Naniwa's play is the way that he solves problems. This, even though it's a Protoss player, can be generalized to all races in all situations. So here's a huge problem that you can end up being in when you are playing on the ladder against a huge variety of strategies. Let's pick one strategy that we can't beat, like a 1-1-1 or something like that. Or actually, that 1-1-1, no one can beat that. Let's do something more simple. Let's just do like a 2 racks Marine Marauder pressure. Real simple, real standard. Let's say our build crushes him when he early expands. It crushes him when he goes fast Banshee. Hell, we even kill the 1-1-1 no problem. But that darn 2 racks is giving us so much trouble. We can't seem to figure that out. So here's a huge issue that many people will do. 95% of people, this huge percentage of people, don't 2 racks. But there's a little sliver of person that does. So it's very easy to just say, well, I just lose then. Let me focus on this 95%. Hey, I'm winning a lot because 95% of people early expand and I know how to deal with that. And then suddenly Marine King Prime starts 2-raxing a lot. And now all of a sudden, we have 80% of players 2-raxing because they just want to be cool. And now we're just losing 80% of the time. Let me tell you the wrong way to go about it. We have our great build. You know what we're going to call our build? We're going to call it the sauce. We've been using the sauce for a long time. Now the 2-racks comes up and crushes us. And what we think is, well, shit, I got to abandon the sauce. I can't do it anymore because it loses to this 2-racks. We want to just do something different. So we do a different opening that can crush the 2-racks. And we're doing great. And then the ladder evens back out. 50% of people 2-racks and 50% of people do this early expand. And we're stuck. We don't know whether to do our new strategy that kills the 2-racks. We don't know whether to do the sauce that ends up killing off everything but a 2-racks. And we have this situation where we're torn. And we start saying things like it's rock, paper, scissors. What I love about Naniwa is that he refuses to switch strategies in a lot of circumstances. He is the exact kind of stubborn that you need to be able to do this sort of problem solving, where he'll do the exact same build but rearrange his buildings a little bit more. And that's how he was able to hold off that Roach all-in versus Zenio at Kiev. Or, he will slightly tweak when he gets his geyser timing. He will skip a unit altogether that players just kind of go into autopilot and keep getting every time. It's his flexible thinking with all these various elements, combined with his ability to just play standard, that makes him such a force. I think of all people who do standard stuff, Naniwa is probably the most clever when it comes to subtle problem solving. So we're going to look at that starting with this opening. I want to talk a lot about the opening right now, but I also want to just drop in your mind that Naniwa's problem solving and his timings in the mid and late game are almost as exact and crisp as his early game timings. It's very easy to say stuff like, oh yeah, at exactly 5 minutes and 15 seconds I should be planting this Nexus down. But once you get to like the 12-minute mark, it's very easy to go, oh, I don't know, you just kind of build like 2 Forges and a Twilight Council now, so it's just, you do that, it's what you do. You just kind of wing it, but there's no winging when we watch Naniwa play. It's very cool. So first I want to start listing off some strategies that we would possibly be up against. I mean, we know the guys here. This is on the ladder, as you'll note by this juicy gold mineral set here. We would be worried about, I don't know, an early expand, or a 2-racks, or we would be maybe worried about some sort of fast Banshee play. Cool, there's tons of stuff that we can potentially worry about at this point in time. But I want to focus on a 2-racks opening. I want to focus on something like fast Banshee, and of course, a nice good old early expand. So Naniwa is going to be doing the 13 Gateway. He's going to be doing the 15 Assimilator. And just as a brief little note, Naniwa always does this, where he re-rallies his Nexus. And this probe that was going to build the pylon, he just builds it out like that. He just rallies the probe. He actually rallied the probe down to the Assimilator as well. Good stuff so far. So, alright. Now we see him getting a Cybernetics Core. Let's talk for a brief moment about what units people normally build right now. Almost always, what gets built? A Stalker. What also gets built pretty commonly, but maybe not always? Well, a Zealot. We get the Zealot and the Stalker, and we go put pressure on him. Or maybe just one Stalker, and we put pressure on him. What's nice about one Stalker popping up early? Well, we can kill off scouting SCVs, and if he goes for some sort of 1-racks expand, or 1-racks fast factory, we can always do a little bit of damage with that Stalker. Already have a pretty cool use for the Stalker. But there comes a point where you need to ask yourself, is that damage good? Is that damage contributing? Is that damage helping me in some way? If I didn't attack with the Stalker, what would happen? So here is already something I absolutely love about Naniwa. He is not going to get a Zealot or a Stalker. The first unit he's actually going to be building is a Sentry. And he is actually going for a 1-gate expand. I've pretty much never seen anyone do that ever. I always see that first Stalker. So he is going to send his probe in. He is going to find an early expand here in a moment. A Marine does deflect him. Okay, he spots it. Fantastic. And what we're going to see Mr. Naniwa do is he's going to be getting the Warp Gate right away. And then he's going to be taking the expansion. And here comes out a Sentry. Now suddenly, because we skipped a Stalker, we can get this second Gas Geyser up really, really early. Because we're getting this Sentry up, if he does an early attack, we're going to have enough to do more than one force field with that Sentry. Often if you delay the Sentry a little bit, you have enough for one force field, or like a Guardian Shield. So a lot of players will get the one Sentry, and then use the 2 Zealots and the 2 Stalkers and the 1 Zealot they built beforehand, with the Guardian Shield to deflect to 2 racks. Very, very, very common stuff. But this allows us to get enough for 2 force fields, should he be coming at us with the 2 racks. And this, I mean, he's going to scout us. He's going to pop in. He's going to see everything. This Sentry probably won't even be able to kill off the SCV. But This build does not rely on us being surprising. This build relies on us just getting all the buildings and units that we need early and then doing something cool with them. So that's already another pretty counterintuitive idea that we're seeing here. Let him scout me. Doesn't matter at all. And another sentry coming up right away. Now, in terms of all the varying possibilities that we could be contending with, this is going to help with a lot of early aggression. If we didn't see him build some sort of early command center, we could easily just throw down a robotics facility now. The big struggle that players will always have when they're trying to do some sort of fast gas, or the problem that players will generally run into if they are doing an early expand, a 1-gate early expand, if you see the Terran and you can't get into his base, you don't know if he's going for really fast Banshees or a really fast command center in his base. So you kind of feel obligated to get this early robotics facility up. But at the same time, what if he does early expand? Hell, what if he attacks and you got this early robotics facility instead of some units? Well, what's nice is that by getting this early sentry, we now can get this early second assimilator. So we have plenty of gas to be able to get a early robo if we don't know what he's doing. Fortunately, we just do know what he's doing, so we're in great shape. We're spending all our gas on sentries. We're not getting a zealot. We're not getting a stalker. All those extra minerals are helping us get this out a little bit faster. I think the one thing I would want to ask myself out loud is, this chrono boost seems pretty high. Is there something different that we could have done with it beforehand? But I honestly think that Naniwa is in pretty comfortable position. I don't think there's any sort of weakness here. He's just going to chrono boost his probes spot on.
Research complete.
Now, another part where I want to end up pausing is right after he does this first warp in. Still pretty much only sentries. Look at this. Like a sentry en masse, right? He spent almost only gas. He's spending all his money and all his chrono on these probes. So if we come to the unit counting station, we see that Naniwa is already going to be able to get quite far ahead of this Terran player who even got his orbital command up very, very early at his expansion. So basically Naniwa is playing for some economy. So alright, we're at 6 minutes and 37 seconds. I'm going to stop again. And I want to note what we did in the early game when I talked about all these possibilities. We listed out all the possibilities there, and we realized that we're kind of safe against everything. We're very comfortable against any form of aggression, fast gas, obviously comfortable against an early expand because he can't really attack us. Now, let's step into the mid-game. We've seen him early expand. He can be getting ready to do a big Marine attack. He can do sort of a delayed Marine Marauder Ghost push. He can do sort of a delayed Marine Marauder push. He can go for really fast medevacs. There's all sorts of stuff he can do. I'm trying to think if there's any really noteworthy ones. That's pretty much it. Really fast Marines, Marine Marauder Ghost, regular Marine Marauder with a lot of upgrades, and of course the fast medevac. He can be doing all of those. What players tend to do in this spot without that sort of knowledge is they tend to go for Colossi very quickly and basically sort of hold back up and defend. And then when they get to Colossi, whoosh, they push out with the Colossi for an offensive. We're defending, getting some Colossi up to defend, whoosh, pushing out for an offensive. Look at this cool problem solving. We've already done a beautiful economic job getting up all these sentries. And Naniwa has planted a very far forward pylon. And right off the bat, Naniwa is going to do an ultra-fast push.
I am here.
2 Stalkers and a Zealot with these 6 sentries. And of course, remember the original sentry to rule them all. Yep, look at this, 133 energy, almost has 3 force fields out of that one. Very helpful build-up. So cool, we now see that our good friend Raptor is moving out with a whole bunch of Marines. This is a very common thing that we're seeing more and more nowadays. It's the Terran player who early expands and goes 4 or 5 racks and just shoves out with it. Now watch what happens when Marines face up against this. Watch this, watch this, watch. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good, I can't wait. Oh, trying to push. Oh! All right, let's go to the units lost tab. This is gnarly. This is kick ass. All right, units lost tab. We lost a zealot. Great. That's cool. That's awesome. In general, this Marine push is designed to make the Protoss on the defensive. It's designed to force our Protoss player to make units instead of valuable tech. I want to say that again because it's really important. The Marine, or even Marine Marauder pushes early, are designed to force us Protoss players to make units instead of making valuable tech. We already talked about how players like to do this defend, defend, defend. I got Colossi. And go out here. Look at the problem solving that Naniwa is going to do. I love this. He gets these units, but he didn't. It's not that he was forced to make these units, it's that he embraced this as being not a problem at all. Look in the unit counting station, still staying ahead in probes, hasn't missed a beat on the probes. In fact, maybe he could even be chrono boosting these probes. He's getting double gas, but basically he's pretty much going units and probes. That's his composition right now. With this huge kind of push, suddenly Terran's starting to kind of go, uh-oh, Terran's starting to build another bunker. In that unit counting station, he pretty much only has Marines. And look at the Naniwa force. Jeez. If I come out here, excuse me, if we come to the Army Supply tab, we see it's much greater in Naniwa's hands. Now, while this attack is happening, Naniwa is going to be getting a robo. This used to be the linchpin defense, getting this robo up quickly and boom, surging forward with a whole bunch of Colossi. Now this happens. Naniwa just marches right on up. Going to kill off some bunkers, going to kill off some mariners, got some other stuff on his backside. And this is a delightful little exchange that just happened. Just think for a moment, what did this attack just accomplish? It could win us the game. It could, it could win us the game. It could maybe give us a sense of what tech he's doing. But in my eyes, the big thing that this achieves is that if he was going for a very fast medevac drop, we force all of his units to be right here, and we kill off a good chunk of them. We would kill off a lot of the Marines and Marauders that would be used for the medevacs. If he went for really fast medevacs, this attack means that the Terran would have to be defending and would have to continue defending, would probably lose some units, which means he couldn't even go do the drop anyways, because he has like 6 Marauders at home, and that's it. He can't just take all 6 and drop you. This is such a brilliant and effective way to push the Terran back, right when the Terran is actually thinking that, no, it's my turn to be attacking. All this is largely thanks to this very early surge of sentries, allowing us to have enough energy for the force fields, and of course freeing up enough minerals for us to get these 3 gateways started strong and get our probe count maxing out. I still wonder if maybe we could get more chrono boost on the probes. And we're going to go ahead and watch a little bit longer. He's getting his forge, he's getting his robotics facility. He has plenty of time morphing in all these units. Again, very atypical to see a Protoss do this sort of aggression. And Naniwa is going to sort of reverse the usual trends with that as a result. He can easily step forward and take himself a fast third base. There's no drop coming. How could there be a drop coming? The first wave attack helped deny that. The second wave drop is going to be here to deny that. I want to emphasize, look at Naniwa's vision. He has no idea. Is this guy going 3 racks, 4 racks, 5 racks, fast medevacs, not fast medevac? Well, all we know is that we just keep attacking the front and no drop can possibly happen. None. We have plenty of force fields. We have plenty of guardian shields. Now our sentries are starting to run a little bit low because we've just done 2 full swings. But this is some cool stuff. We're even getting a chance to kill off a couple workers. We don't really have to, as you can see. Naniwa does some nice damage. Food evens up a little bit. Naniwa is going to be pulling back, but in the meantime, it's going to turn into a pretty standard get my Colossi as fast as possible now. In terms of being meticulous, we're going to see in this game and the next game that Naniwa literally uses this exact timing for the Robo facility with the attack and follows it up with the Robo Bay, and then gets 5 gateways when he takes his third. Literally goes 3 gate, then a Robo, and this thing, and an expand, and then 5 gates. Literally exactly every time, that many. There's only a little bit longer for this game, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and step onto a brief break, and we come back, we're going to finish up this game. We're going to see how the Colossi come into play in a sort of different function, and then we're going to look at a much longer game where Naniwa's up against SC Foyu. Woo! So, thanks for watching. I'll be back. I'll be back.